Hello, my name is Chelsea Getzy, and I will be discussing building a social media culture at Dell. This is off of the second case study and course assignment. Dell's history is a little bit unique in the fact that it's rather recent. A lot of computer companies are a little bit older and they've developed throughout the years. However, Dell is one of the newer brands. It was actually just developed in 1984 by Michael Dell in his dorm room at the University of Texas. What started out as $1,000 actually ended up growing to an $85 million market capitalization just by 1998, 4 short years later. And once again, 4 years after that, in 1992, Dell joined the Fortune 500 list, becoming one of the greatest companies in the world. I believe I can define Dell's success in social media in a very, very unique way. I believe it's made out into three parts. The first part being innovation. The second factor would be research, and finally, organization. By putting these three factors together, Dell's success is unlike any other. When it comes to innovation, Idea Storm was one of the greatest ideas that Dell had to begin with. It was originally launched in February 2007, and it allowed consumers to suggest new features or services for Dell to implement in the future. This gave them a great hands-on service and also kept them very captivated in Dell's core mission. Next, Direct to Sell. With Direct to Sell, which was launched in 2006, actually before Ideal Storm, this became the first official blog for customer-facing communications, including events, products, and company news. And this was a very, very close-knit resource for customers to immediately get contact with. The next element that led to the success for Dell is the research that they did. Now, originally, Michael Dell put a team together to determine what was best for social media and how Dell should go about doing this. This team determined that businesses and individuals use social media for different reasons, and therefore they respond differently to different behaviors on social media. So it may work in the average business world of more formal and not so fun philosophies doesn't really work for individuals on social media where they want quick resources where it's more personal level. Michael Dell also provided the turning point when he asked this group to reach out to bloggers and customers in Dell's forums. He said that we immediately saw an increase in customer resolution rates and a shift in tonality of online posts once they got together with these consumers. The final part of the success model that has been so wonderful for Dell social media is the organization they created. And by organization, I mean how their company was aligned, how their chain of command worked, who reported to who, and how what I believe working gears work together for the greater cause. And this is broken down to what I believe 4 parts. The first part being executives. Now, often in conjunction with public relations, they communicated regularly with investors and the public about the company. They basically oversaw everything and made sure everything was aligned. Next, the marketing department. They worked to develop a brand identity and convey it to the customers. Next, the technology. The support and the customer service employees communicated with individuals and customers as their needs arise. So this gave the opportunity for customers to immediately get in contact with Dell, no matter what their situation was. Finally, when it came to the sales team, they engaged in two-way communication with customers and other clients. They kept a constant communication, figuring out what the customers wanted and what they needed. I believe the success of Dell is unlike any other campaign or any other company because of the direct sales model they provide. And in this approach, it's a lot different than any company out there really is providing, especially around the time Dell first came out in the 1990s. Now, the direct sales model, unlike traditional brands such as retailers, distributors, and resellers, takes you right to the consumer. And in 2009, Dell had discovered a way to use Twitter for revenues by tweeting links to Dell's products that led directly to sales. In this instance, Dell would tweet out, "This computer is available for a special price this month," and therefore the consumer could then click on it very simply on their smartphone or computer, and it would take them directly to the website where the consumer could then buy. This marketing approach was unlike any other where it was 100% direct, and the second the consumer saw the advertisement, they could then be right on the page where they could order their laptop. Dell saw huge success in this, and just in the first year that they introduced it in 2009, they announced that a lot of its Twitter followers had led to more than $6.5 million in sales for the company since they first joined this social network in 2007. Now, the handle they have at Dell Outlet, which Dell used to provide information and occasional deals through its online outlet store for its Twitter followers, alone raised more than $3 million in sales. Dell's next challenge is unlike any other. Now, Dell was very, very, very lucky in the fact that they did the research first and they had all the social media out there first for a lot of companies, or I'm sorry, for a lot of consumers before a lot of companies were out there. And a problem that Dell is going to have coming up when they're realigning with Dell's new mission behind Michael Dell, is the world is catching up to them. Social media is now huge across the board, and a lot of companies are creating these multi-organizations for social media. So with these companies catching up, Dell is going to have to really position themselves higher than they are now to make sure they stay on top of the social media market. Going into that, Dell needs to make sure that they're allocating the time and expenses to continue educating their employees on the outlets of social media. Right now, they spend a lot of time educating all of their employees on what the benefits are, how to use social media, and the best practices. Now, unfortunately, these things change every single day. So the amount of time and energy that they are putting, as well as money, towards these classes and everything, when the market is changing, is kind of difficult to measure how attainable it is. And finally, the next challenge for Dell is to understand the difference between social media and social business. As I mentioned, it is much different a social media world than it was in the past. So it's really important for Dell to understand its business aspect compared to the social media of on a personal level. My advice to Dell when it comes to trying to align with their new mission with Dell as their executive is basically keep doing what you are doing. Remain strong in the fact that you're going to continue to connect with your employees just as much as you're going to connect with your customers. I think that's the biggest focus, is connect with both of them, because the employees know what's best for the company, yet the consumers know what they want. So continue to have them work together, keep those blogs working, allow the open communication, and basically stand your ground. Do not let Dell's position ever lack from what it is, and keep the strong basis up. And if you keep doing what you're doing, I think you're going to end up just fine.